Hey everyone, this is Isaac from Hunger Smash Fitness. Just wanted to do a quick video today on weight loss, basically. So I feel like a lot of people, when they initially start trying to lose weight, are instantly just thinking of how to reduce weight or reduce overall weight, and I feel like they're going about that the wrong way, and I'm going to explain my opinion about that a little bit here. To start off to say, I'm not a licensed nutritionist or anything like that. If you have actual nutrition questions, you need to go find a nutritionist and talk to them about that. So, but to start off, so body weight essentially is calories in versus calories out. We burn the majority of our calories throughout the day. It doesn't matter how athletic you are and how much you're participating in sports and everything else. You burn the majority of your calories just resting. You're just surviving constantly. So the vast majority of your calories are actually burned just staying alive. So to look at that further, muscles burn calories, fat doesn't. So fat takes up space. They a pound of fat and a pound of muscle, the muscle it takes up, it's like 2/3 of the space that a pound of fat does. And so muscle takes up less space and it burns calories. So you can have two 200-pound individuals, one at 40%, and the other could be at 12% or something like that, and they would look completely different because of the muscle mass, basically, because the shape and everything is just drastically different. So to start off, yeah, muscles burn calories and fat doesn't. So oftentimes when people start trying to lose weight, they focus on either eating less or doing lots of cardio, and both of these can help you lose weight in the short term, but in the long term you can actually gain weight by doing both of these measures. So the body adapts to whatever stressors that we put against it naturally. So if we're looking at it that way, and you can think about that with anything. I mean, if you walk into a room and there's a horrible smell or something like that, pretty soon you won't notice it anymore because your body notices that, well, that's just a constant stressor, I'm going to ignore it now. And it does the same with exercise. So if you're doing a lot of cardio, the more cardio that we do, the better the body becomes at doing cardio, which means one of the things that it's doing is using less calories to complete the extended cardio. So that is, which is kind of a problem with cardio. So in the long term, the immediate result, if you start running a lot to lose weight, immediately it can end up in quite a bit of weight loss. But if you're not matching the calorie intake to match with that, over time your body will actually become accustomed to doing that, and you'll hit this stagnant line. You will plateau. It'll be almost impossible for you to lose more weight doing that because your body adapts to doing cardio so much. Of course, one of the things that you can do is just keep running further and further and further and use that as the modifier. But unless you feel like running a marathon every day, eventually you're going to hit this point where it's going to plateau out and you're not going to be able to overcome that. So what oftentimes happens is a lot of people, if they get an exercise bike or something like that, stick it in their house, use it regularly at first they see some weight loss. After a while it plateaus, and then after a little bit they start to see weight gain again because their metabolism has actually slowed to adjust to all of the cardio that they're doing. So then the other thing that a lot of people will do is reduce caloric intake, which is a good thing if you're trying to lose weight, but I think a lot of times they go about it the wrong way, where they end up actually putting their body into, it thinks that there's a famine going on, and so it actually shuts down their metabolism, And so then again, anytime they splurge or anytime they mess up at all, their body hangs on to those calories because it doesn't think that it's going to get more later. And so you end up oftentimes gaining weight from that. And you'll see that a lot with a lot of the yo-yo dieting and everything, where people will go into basically a starvation, almost a famine diet, and reduce their caloric intake so drastically and malnourish their body so drastically that as soon as they come off of that diet, their body hangs on to everything, and oftentimes they'll gain back more weight than they weighed at the beginning of the diet. So both of these things are good for short-term weight loss. You will see some results, but long-term they're not healthy and they're not necessarily good for the body. So the easiest way to lose weight and keep that weight off is weightlifting, by going and actually working out, lifting weights. So muscles burn calories, which means that the more muscle that we have, the more calories we're burning just sitting there. So my resting metabolic rate, even though I'm right at about 300 or so right now, but my resting metabolic rate is much higher than most other people just because I have more muscle mass as well. Currently I have more fat as well because I've been trying to gain weight, but I burn more calories sitting on the couch than most other people do sitting on the couch. And so that's one of the benefits of having more muscle, is because it makes it a lot easier in the long run to control your weight. So the other benefit of lifting weights is after you lift weights, it takes about 48 hours or so, give or take, to repair the muscles. And so for about 48 hours after working out, your body is trying to build that muscle back up. And so it's actually pouring nutrients into that muscle. So your metabolism is actually higher for about 48 hours after you lift weights. And that doesn't include, going to the gym and doing one set of bicep curls. That's not working out. I'm talking where you're actually training your muscles, getting a little bit of fatigue and everything, but doing it in a good manner. And I can do more videos about that later, about how to actually lift weights and all that. But so for about 48 hours after, though, your body is trying to build that muscle. And so you're already in a heightened metabolic state because of that. So what it comes down to is kind of this. If you can get two individuals, you can get two 200-pound males, for instance. Like I said, one could be at 40% body fat, one could be at 14% body fat. But the one who has a higher fat content, they're going to be on a restricted caloric intake naturally because their metabolism is already so slow. So would you rather be 200 pounds and be really worried about eating more than your 2,000 calories that day, because if you eat more then you're going to gain more weight? Or would you rather be 200 pounds and be able to eat 3,800 calories a day and know that you have some leeway, where if you want to go extra, if there's pizza at the party or something on a Friday night, you can eat some of that pizza and enjoy it and know that you just need to eat a little bit less the next day and it'll balance out really easily. Having more muscle mass makes it much, much easier to control your body weight. And so if you're trying to lose weight, the first thing that you need to do is focus on building muscle mass. And a lot of the times what scares people with this is that when you first start working out, your weight will go up. Hopefully just a couple pounds or something like that. But your weight will go up because your muscles are getting bigger, but the fat hasn't quite, your calories in versus calories out hasn't balanced out yet. And so the muscles are starting to get bigger, but the fat is still there. And it'll take time for your body to start reducing the fat count. And so this is not going to be a 3-month turnaround or something like that. It's not a 3-month fad diet where you're going to lose a lot of muscle and a lot of fat or anything like that. Doing this is what's going to help you for the next 10 years, the next 20 years. It's trying to create more of a lifestyle that is sustainable, that is healthy, and that you can continue to do for a long time. So in short, that's kind of my take on, well, kind of on the yo-yo dieting and beginning working out and all that sort of stuff in general. If you have questions, definitely you can always feel free to comment on the video. You can, message me, or if you have my number, you can text me, whatever, anything like that. I love to talk to people and help people, and yeah, and let me know what you think about any of this. So anyways, that's about all for today, and please just like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and let me know what you think. So that's all for today.